before we jump into the compensation plan, I want to talk about 4 principles of a successful business according to Tim Sells and his book, Brilliant Compensation. Because it's not just about the compensation plan, but these factors also make dōTERRA stand out to me as the best vehicle for me to provide financial stability for my family. So the first is a huge and expanding market. It doesn't matter if you have the very best VCR company in the world, if there's really not a market for that. There's some people back there, they're like, what's a VCR? It's not on TikTok yet. You haven't heard about it. But the essential oil market has taken the world by storm over the past decade or so. And much of that is obviously due to dōTERRA. And that market is expected to grow a compound annual growth of 11.8% over the next 5 years and continue to grow after that. The global skincare market is a $130 billion market as of last year. And that's expected to grow a compound annual growth of 4.6%. So there's also entire companies, you guys, built on supplements or entire companies just on hair care. Think about the weight loss and the metabolic health industry, green cleaning, etc. You could pick any of our product lines and build a completely successful business with them alone. But the fact that we have so many amazing product lines, it means that we have something for pretty much everyone and their dog. By the raise of hand, who has used oils on their dogs? See, I tell no lies. We have a huge and expanding market. Number 2 is a unique and consumable product. So not only do we have something for everyone, and we stand out because of our unique commitment to quality, but our products are consumable. So people continue to buy them versus non-consumable products like clothing or jewelry, where it's not necessarily something people want to buy every month on a loyalty rewards order, right? I believe this is one of the reasons that we have such an amazing retention rate. And I want to just talk a minute about retention. dōTERRA has consistently held a 65% or above retention rate, which at first didn't mean that much to me. I didn't have anything to compare that with, but the industry standard, you guys, is 10 to 15% in other network marketing companies. So think of how much more work you would have to do to get the same results if you only retained less than a quarter of what you retain now. That is just crazy to me. I remember meeting with Corey Lindley back in 2011. He just joined the executive team and he told me he was trying to figure out how dōTERRA was calculating this to come up with that number, because he just couldn't comprehend how that could be possible. He'd previously worked for a very large and prominent network marketing company and said that they spent so much time and money just trying to figure out ways to improve that by 1 or 2%. And what he found was dōTERRA actually calculated it in a more frugal way than what he usually saw. I just spoke to Emily right at the airport on our flight over here, and she said it was actually sitting at 73%. Drew Wolpert, we were back in hair and makeup. He needed a lot of makeup, more than me, and his hair. But he said, it's usually somewhere falling between 70 to 80%. This is a really big deal, you guys. So number 3 is timing. When I got started in dōTERRA back in 2010, we didn't have nearly this large of a product line or really any of the many programs that we have to support us now. More people than ever are open to essential oils and natural health. You don't even need to own a hacky sack anymore. dōTERRA is a multi-billion-dollar company with a proven track record. They won't go public, they won't sell, or as Corey says, it's a forever company. And so I feel really confident in what I build with dōTERRA because of the stability that it's built on. I have a friend, we'll call her Angela, mostly because that's her name. But Angela is a hustler, and she worked hard for years to build a substantial income with a network marketing company, only to have it shut down and her income disappeared overnight. I have another friend, Jen, who built a successful business with a network marketing company. And it took her a couple of years. And then they were purchased by another company. They changed their compensation plan. That cut a lot of her earnings. And then they shifted their product line in a completely different direction. And she pretty much lost all of her business. dōTERRA is well established. It's founded on integrity, and it's positioned very well for a lot of growth in the future. I'm really excited to be a part of that, you guys. Like, this is amazing. The number 4 employ others to get more done. I think this is just for the industry in general, but with my background as a massage therapist, I could only earn income while someone is on my table. It's kind of hard to earn income all on your own, right? So some people have employees, which I've done that before as well. And what you find with employees, not doTERRA's employees, obviously, they are amazing, but generally they don't usually care as much about your business as you do. With doTERRA and this business plan, you're partnered with other business owners, people who have a vested interest in their own business as well. And I absolutely love partnering with people like you who are invested in the same mission to help empower others through this amazing company. So let's talk a little bit about those earnings, right? One thing that I appreciate about doTERRA's compensation plan is that they pay those higher commissions on the lower levels, where a lot of other companies will pay higher commissions at the top and lower commissions at the bottom. Why do you think this is? Any guesses? It does not save you any money. It is 34% either way, whether it's higher at the top or higher at the bottom, it's still the same exact amount. Well, let me ask you this. How many people do you have on your top level? And how many people do you have on your bottom levels, your lower levels, right? Oh, some lights are going off. So if you're just getting started, you might not have a lot of people on those lower levels, but if you're building diamond or above, you've got 4 teams. Here I've illustrated 4 teams with a 3x3 organization, each ordering 150 PV. Now, I've never actually seen a perfectly built 3x3 organization, but this gives you an idea of what that would look like, right? Now, if the percentage is flipped with that inverted commission, you can see at the very beginning, they'll get a little bit more. So with doTERRA, I think that we're paid $30 less on that top level, $54 less on the second and third levels. But on that fourth level, it evens out. And what's really interesting is what happens as we get to those higher percentages on those lower levels where we've got more people. It's quite a significant difference. So you might be wondering, why doesn't everybody pay this way? Right? Why doesn't everybody do that? And that goes back to our retention that we talked about before. If your retention is lower, you need to try to get people paid enough in the beginning for them to even stick around to get to those lower levels. So here's another example of a 3x3 organization, right? And something that's interesting to note here, this doesn't even include our power of 3 bonus. This is just the unilevel. So if everybody was ordering 150 PV, which is what I encourage my team to do, then you'd also get that power of 3 bonus. It is such a brilliantly designed bonus that really helps people see some pretty significant commissions with as little as 39 people underneath them if they were perfectly placed. Now in this illustration, I showed it per level. So you wouldn't be paid the $50 commission and the $250 and the $1,500 bonus. So the bottom total just includes $1,500, but I wanted you to see per level how that would break down with this awesome power of 3 bonus. Another thing about doTERRA's compensation plan that was brilliantly designed is that there is absolutely no breakage. That's what these arrows on that bottom of this compensation plan mean. It's the dynamic compression part of our plan, and it's truly awesome. There's a lot of benefits of the dynamic compression. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on that, but I want you to understand the main point of it is that every single order is paid out the full 34% in unilevel commission. If someone doesn't qualify for commissions, either from not having a qualifying rank or a qualifying order, the company doesn't keep that commission. It goes back to us wellness advocates, and that commission will just look for the very next person who qualified to receive it. So this is why oftentimes you can see unilevel commissions well beyond your 7th level. I also think that it's brilliant because it incentivizes people to continue to grow. If an elite is sitting with a diamond underneath them, they only qualify for 5 levels of pay. So if they really want to capture those full commissions, they'll obviously want to build to a minimum of silver. This is also why as leaders, we are rewarded for taprooting and supporting the movers and the shakers, even if they're a bit lower under someone who's not engaged, because that unilevel still benefits us. And another thing I love about doTERRA's compensation plan is the bonus pools. Sorry, this is a different slide. Here's did it not show the bonus pools? Okay, here's the bonus pools. This is kind of like owning a like stock in dōTERRA. So you're actually getting paid dividends based on the global monthly volume, and that's just according to the rank that people hit and the number of people that are in that bonus pool with us, right? So we can even get extra shares of the pool on months that our own personal enrollments rank advance. So I love how this encourages us to continue to enroll and support people on their dōTERRA journey. I also love how this encourages a culture of cross-line collaboration, because when Natalie's team grows, or actually Angela's on my team, you know, Alisia's also my upline, but when other people's teams grow, I was trying to like look for somebody, but we're all related here. But when other teams grow, that grows the bonus pool that I get to be a part of. And so it's really cool that dōTERRA has this benefit where we all get to collaborate and work with each other. Plus, I like Natalie and everyone else. I'm happy to work with each other. This culture that we have in dōTERRA, you guys, is pretty dang special. So I'm glad to be a part of that. So just as a reference point, dōTERRA did a couple comparisons of other compensation plans that were somewhat similar to ours. You can see here with this one, the initial levels get a little bit more commission with the other company when comparing similar volume amounts. But as you grow to that fourth level and more significant volume, dōTERRA trumps the competition. Here's another comparison that I found interesting. What's really interesting here is the OV of the other company is roughly 50 to 75% of their customers' dollar spend, compared to dōTERRA's 70 to 100%. So what that means is they have to sell a lot more than us to get the same amount of volume. This company actually used to have a compensation plan that was more similar to dōTERRA's, and then it made some changes that make it a lot harder for their distributors to rank advance, and it makes their commission really lumpy and less reliable. To me, like Corey mentioned earlier, this is a big red flag when a company starts making big changes like this. And it also doesn't pay commissions to their leaders where 40% or more of their OV comes from one leg. So there's a couple of things about that plan that's a little bit unsettling for me. Over the past 13 years that I've been with dōTERRA, I have been able to see, sorry, I'm trying to skip ahead. Thank you. But I've had the privilege of growing along with dōTERRA for 13 years and just watching and being a part of this company and the amazing wellness advocates that they attract. I don't know everything, you guys. Obviously, I'm not a teenager, so I don't know everything. But I look smarter than I am. No, I am smarter than I look. So I do know a couple things. And what I know is that dōTERRA's products work and dōTERRA's compensation plan works. Back in 2011, my family lost pretty much every penny we owned overnight. And I remember feeling somewhat helpless with a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old and a baby on the way. I had been with dōTERRA for about a year. And at that point, I knew that it had the products and the flexibility that I needed to build a business while balancing the demands of my family. So I went all in on my dōTERRA business. And I remember some people thought it was a long shot. In fact, one day my friend Kyle Kirschbaum kind of made fun of the process, saying, so your plan is to buy little bottles of oil and put them into smaller bottles of oil and give those away for free. And that's how you make money. He was a joy thief. But in 2014, Kyle and his wife Kirsten, who's one of my best friends, hit Presidential Diamond the same month as me. They are joy multipliers now. And I earned a pretty great unilevel commission from them every month. So I had the last laugh there. I know there's always bumps in the road of life, you guys. In fact, over the past couple of years, I've had a bit of my own bumpy ride. But because I had showed up consistently for my dōTERRA business for years, when my father was diagnosed with cancer and passed away within 6 months, I was able to be with him, rubbing oils on his feet, which he asked for constantly. And my dōTERRA commissions still showed up for me. I also went through a difficult divorce at that time, and I was able to focus on my family and fit dōTERRA around that. And my dōTERRA commissions still showed up for me. When my family member is struggling with mental health and different issues, I was able to take custody of their 1-month-old and 16-month-old baby for a couple of months as a single mom, in addition to my 4 busy kids. And I was able to do this because of the flexibility of the work we have with dōTERRA, and my dōTERRA business still showed up for me. And my dōTERRA family showed up for me too. And Emily Wright called me one day on like one of my lowest days. She probably regretted it because I was unloaded on her. But these are just 3 examples of a dozen bumps I've come across my road lately. But because of this amazing dōTERRA business, I was able to adjust and do the things that I needed to do. And my dōTERRA earnings still showed up for me. dōTERRA works. So if you ever wonder if this business is actually working for you, I would ask that you rephrase that question to whether or not you are actually still working for your business. This business is not complicated. If you're consistently committed to showing up for it, I promise the rewards of this business will consistently show up for you. Thank you.